What's up, everybody? This is the RC Buyers Club, and I'm going to do a review on the Baja Q32. Alright, let's get started. This is a 132nd, ready to run. Comes out of the box, ready to go. You just need 4 AA batteries for the controller. Stacks 4 in there, 2 on 2. This card's pretty cool. It's very small. Couple comparisons. I just grabbed a CD so you can compare it in size. Everyone has a CD or DVD. I mean, it's pretty much the same size. It's very, very light. The controller also is a little bit smaller than a normal controller, but it still fits in your hand fine. Has a good quality feel. Trigger feels good. Steering's very smooth. Nice foam wheel. Here's the charging plug for the car. Little teeny plug there. It's got a throttle trim, a steering trim, and it also has a steering trim on the car. Kind of like how the cheaper like cars from Walmart or something would have. Just so you can compare and size the radios, or the controllers. This is from a Traxxas car. Slash, so you can see that it is definitely a smaller radio. Let's see. The performance on the car is pretty good. I mean, it's hobby grade. It's not real cheap. The tires on the computer, on the internet, when you look at the car, it looks like the tires are very I mean, even in this picture here, it looks like they're just nothing. Very thin, and they're not. They're real thick, dense foam. It's a good tire. When it rolls out of the box, it rolled dead straight. I had no problems. I haven't trimmed it at all, and it just drives straight. So a couple things that I did do to the car is I put a little weight on it because it seemed like when it was turning, it was just turning. It was just would do a 180 basically. So I put a little bit of weight on it. It smoothed the front end out a little. Another trick I did, or another mod trick, is I don't know if you can see this little screw right there. It's a little button head Allen. Okay, so what I did is out of the box they want you to put this body on the chassis with double-sided, or not double-sided tape, with a hook and loop tape or Velcro, and it just doesn't work. I mean, if you just don't care about your stuff, I guess it does work, but it didn't look right. It wasn't holding. If you just tapped it, it would rattle real bad back here. It was kind of like an afterthought. You know, they built a pretty good car, and then they're like, oh, how are we going to keep the body on? So it's kind of funny. There's a little teeny dimple right here in the car, and I wish I had the tool to take it out, but it's inside. So there's a little teeny dimple right there, almost like they thought about it, but they didn't do it. So if you just ream this out with a little body reamer or a drill bit or whatever, and you have a really small screw or a really small Allen key, you can do this little mod. I should just show you real quick exactly how this all works. Okay, I got it. It's a very small Allen key. I don't know, a 1mm, I guess, maybe. So I'll show you what I did here. I mean, it's only like one thread into the chassis. So the screw here, like I was saying, there's a dimple right where I put the screw, like they meant for this to be. And in the body, or the chassis, there's 1, 2, 3 holes right here, but that dimple in the chassis lines up right with this hole perfectly. I mean, perfect. So I mean, I just found, I have a whole bunch of screws from, you know, years and years of RC stuff. This screw is teeny, which you could use a longer one, but I'm talking. Let me see if I can get my micrometer. It's 4 millimeters long, and it says it's 2 millimeters. So 4x2. I mean, you can use a longer one and it'll work just the same. Just be careful not to go too deep, because under that is the motor for the servo. So another couple of things. I don't have the stickers on it. I'll put them on later. You can see a hole here. Well, I'll get to that in a minute. I had to Dremel out right here because the tie rods were rubbing against it, and the tie rods are kind of move with the suspension on the car, and that wasn't really working. I like things like to really work well when, especially my RC stuff. So the hole, since the body is not held on with Velcro and you can't take it off and on real easy, which you couldn't even with the Velcro wasn't even sticking to the body. It was a mess, and I know how to put Velcro on things. I reamed with a body reamer. I reamed the hole out so it fits the charging jack, so I don't have to take the body off and on, so I can just charge it with the body on. And it's real easy just to put the screw back in there. You just barely start the threads, and that's all it is. It's on there. I mean, I could probably go a little bit tighter, but that's fine for now. I'm going to take it off a lot of times. So, and then the charger, the hole for the charger, you can just plug it right in like that, and it's perfect. I mean, it's almost like, why didn't they just think of it? It's because it's a small car, and they know probably people that don't have much experience in this kind of stuff are going to get this car since it's cheap. But hey, that's what I'm for. Hopefully you'll watch a video and see this little trick. Let's see what else I can say about the car. It's fast, very fast. Me and my son just had the low C short course trucks, brushless version, and I would say that this car, it doesn't hook up as well, so it won't really launch as good, but I would say top speed, it's about the same speed. I mean, this thing cooks. It's fast. It's got a little bit of suspension on the back. I'm not sure if that even helps it or not. It's just a little spring. I was thinking maybe trying to find a spring out of a pin that's softer. It could definitely use a softer spring. And in the front just works, kind of just the torsion of the plastic. It works. But it doesn't need it. It's not like you're going to be driving this thing out in the dirt. It's for, you're inside of your house on some linoleum or a tile floor, light carpet, I guess would make, something like that. The one thing, these small cars, they're just hair magnets. I have a daughter and a wife, and I'll tell you what, I run this thing for 2 minutes and I'm pulling hair out of it for 5 minutes. But that's not just this car. That's any small car. The other day, I was pulling hair out of the axle on my son's Slash, believe it or not. And it wasn't a little bit, it was a lot. So it just goes wherever we go. But, girls, we got to live with them. See, it's a tough car. Let's see. So it's fast, it handles good. I mean, I like it. I've had a lot of RC cars, a lot of very expensive ones. The thing that I think is cool about this is if you're going somewhere, and you don't want to take a whole get up, maybe you're just going somewhere boring, you don't know what you're going to be doing. This can fit, anywhere. You can take this in your car with you, play with it in the office at work, take it with you to your friend's house, whatever. This is the thing about these cars, is these cars are a lot of fun when you get a couple of them together, and that's when it becomes fun. When you're just, any RC, anything RC usually is fun when you do it with a group of people. You got a 2.4, so you don't have to worry about channels or anything like that. Another thing this car is there's other cars that look like this, like the kickflip. And the difference is, in this car and those cars, is this car has proportional steering. So this car, you can turn the wheels a little bit, or all the way, a quarter of the way, whatever you want to do. The kick flips are all nothing, so it's not as controllable as this car. This car is definitely, it feels like a big car kind of, you know, just is a little squirrely. Another thing I was just thinking about, when I got this car, I did have to trim the sides of the bodies here where the swing arms go for the suspension because it was rubbing up against the side of it. It probably didn't affect it really because, I mean, like I said, the suspension isn't probably really functional, but I did trim it. Let me think. I guess that's about it. Are they worth $60? Yeah, if you got $60 or you got a present, you know, a gift card or I got this for Father's Day. It was a great Father's Day present. You know, I like getting presents like I'm a kid still, where I can play with them. So that was a great Father's Day present, I think. I would recommend it to anybody. If you like little cars like that, if you don't, then it's probably not a good car for you. But if you like the little stuff, and I don't know, I think it's a good car. I think it's a good car. It's worth it. This is my HPI, and thanks for watching the RC Buyers Club review channel. And I got more reviews coming up, so keep watching. Thanks.